the Allen family has prepared a statement that I will read to the media. Then Mr. Allen will take a few moments to thank a few supporters and answer a few questions. I'll answer a few questions alongside of him, and then we're going to let the Allen family retire from here in peace. So, the prepared statement of the Allen family. Last week, our family came under attack from the people who are supposed to be there to protect us, ensure our safety, and provide the guarantee of our rights given to us by God. Has God tested the strength of our family by putting us through this? We are a family who believes in the power of the Lord, and we believe that everything that happens, God has had a reason. As this is a truth, we believe that through the acts of Fort Myers Police Department last week, we can bring great change this week, next week, and forever. Through the false arrest of our son, brother, our friend, and our hometown hero, we are motivated to bring the change that our local law enforcement so desperately needs. No other citizen should endure humiliation, capture, or false accusation. Today we stand before you, calling on the leadership of our community to support us in our call for change. We call on Police Chief Doug Baker and Captain James Mulligan to stand with us and ensure that what happened to Nate never happens again in this great city. Gentlemen, stand up for the civil rights of your citizens and expose your police department to the same scrutiny that you have exposed Nate. Do not hide this unfortunate incident beneath the cover of an internal affairs investigation. Invite an independent agency to investigate what went wrong. Allow the Federal Bureau of Investigations or the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to conduct an investigation into the events that unfolded over the last 9 days. Guarantee that when an independent investigative agency is invited into your department, all evidence will be available to them. Guarantee that dispatch records, CAD reports, holding cell surveillance, police car audio and video surveillance, timestamps, cell phone records, and officer statements have been preserved. Do not cause the blackened eye you have given our city to bruise even deeper. Through transparency and an independent investigation, the Fort Myers Police Department can forever bring change to our great city. Never again does a young man need to be falsely accused of a crime and falsely arrested. Let us use this opportunity to grow as a community. We would like to take a moment to acknowledge the young lady who is the true victim in this entire matter. What she has suffered is far greater a tragedy than what our family will ever suffer. We hope that you find peace in your heart. You have been in our prayers, and we hope that never again will you have to go through something as awful as this. You have done nothing wrong, and we wish you nothing but the very best. Today we stand before you, united as a family and as a community, to express our gratitude to our friends for their support, the State Attorney's Office for its commitment to ensuring justice, and most importantly, God for giving us strength and love. Nate?
Just to start this off, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for getting me through this. That was my strength and my power through this entire thing. I want to obviously thank my family, my friends, everyone who came up to me during this time or sent me a text message, and just showed support and love throughout this entire process. I can't say thank you enough for the support, and it meant a lot to me, and it really helped me get through this. I want to thank my attorney Sawyer Smith for the great job he did and his support and his family's support. I want to thank Ms. Sturgis that cooperated and provided a lot of the evidence that helped me get through this. And I want to thank Francine from the State Attorney's Office and the State Attorney's Office as a whole for, this process. And, because I've never been in this type of thing before. And the way they helped me along with it and, told me the steps and everything that I needed to do, I want to thank everybody. And my heart and condolences go out to this girl and her family for what has happened, because as I've come to find out, we both were victims in this entire thing. And I can't imagine, you know, the pain and the heartache that you and your family have gone through too. And my heart goes out to you, seriously. And yeah, it's an unfortunate event for both of us. And yeah, I'm glad this is all over with. I'm glad we can put this behind us and move forward with everything and move forward with our lives. And yeah, I'm just glad this is over with and that everybody has seen that I would never do something like this, and that evidence has shown that it was literally impossible for me to do this, and that, you know, my whole character and you know, entire existence isn't thrown up into question all off a false accusation. And I know that, you know, what needs to be done will be done, and at the end of the day, justice will win. So,
Thank you. Media questions.
In the middle of everything that you were going through with this firestorm, were other young men coming up to you saying this has happened to them as well?
Yeah, not the exact thing, but people were saying that they've had certain run-ins with certain areas of law enforcement, and you know, I kind of took everything with a grain of salt because I wasn't trying to get into, well, yeah, you know, I understand where you're coming from. This is what they did to me. I had my own situation I had to deal with, and that's all I was really focused on.
What is the response from the Eagles or the NFL that during this whole process?
100% supportive, and I feel like the Eagles are kind of like my family, as how they know my character, and the entire NFL, because right from day one they were saying, you know, we know this didn't happen. We don't believe any of it, and we just want you to know we support you 110%. So.
What do you directly want to say to the Fort Myers Police Department?
Nothing directly. You know, I know some things were done wrong, and there were steps that were taken that were not correct. But you know, that's a whole different thing, and I'm not going to comment too much on that.
What's the next step in all of this, especially Sawyer for you?
Mr. Allen and I are going to get together. We have a few things to discuss. There's still a lot that needs to be released by Fort Myers Police Department. That's why the family today called on them to open their doors, to release all the information, all the records, all the surveillance, so that we can take a hard look at that and decide what we do next.
Is there a possibility of filing a civil suit against them?
Before we get into any discussions about a civil suit, we need to take a look at what went wrong, what happened. Today is not about Fort Myers Police Department. Today is about the Allen family and about this young lady who is a victim here.
I'm trying to get an understanding of the timeline here. Exactly when did Fort Myers Police Department ask the state attorney's office to press charges? How long did they leave him twisting in the wind?
We reached out to the state attorney's office the very next day and asked them to get with Fort Myers Police Department and start reviewing the records. We didn't trust in what Fort Myers Police Department was doing, so we pushed the state to get involved in this, and they responded heroically.
Exactly when did they ask the state attorney's office to press charges?
You're going to have to ask the state that question.
All right. I guess the other thing I want to ask is the state attorney's office offered pretty much the strongest repudiation of the techniques provided by the Fort Myers Police Department. How convinced are you that if Chief Doug Baker doesn't understand the law, how can he enforce it?
What the state attorney's office did was stand up for its community. The state attorney's office is not just a prosecutorial agency, but it's an investigative agency. And they saw that injustice was happening and got in the way of it and resolved this issue with the strength in the statement that you saw written yesterday.
What do you want to see happen to the policy, their witness identification policy?
I think that a lot of FMPD needs to be reviewed. The show up, as it's commonly referred to, is one of the worst techniques for witness or defendant identification there is, and it leads to this. It leads to Mr. Allen standing here with his family and his friends, and this, by the way, is Mike. This is Big Mike from the text message. It leads to him having to have his life exposed. So if Fort Myers Police Department doesn't see what their policy creates, I don't know that there is hope. But we do want them to change the way that they act.
Well, if they reveal all the records this case involving Nate, I mean, who's to say that they're going to be revealing all the records afterwards? I mean, when are you going to be convinced that things have really changed?
When we see that change occurring, when we don't have press conferences like this, when lawyers like myself aren't having to answer questions like that. When the questions stop, we'll know that the change has occurred. Thank you very much. Right?
Yep.
Let's go home.
What's that?
Let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
You're done.
I'm ready, man.
All right. Get out of here.